Hello everyone, I'll show you how to model this sideboard in 3D Max. First, I will draw a box. I want this box to be 65, 80, and 40. Here the width segments 2. Now I need to add edit poly and I will start detaching the sides, all these sides. So I will select the top polygons and then I will go to edit geometry and then I will detach. I will not use as an element, I will not use as a clone, just detach. Okay, now I will select both sides, detach. Now I will select the base, detach, and also the front panel, detach. Now here I have 6 objects. Okay. Now I will select each one and give it a shell modifier. Here I will make the inner amount 2. Now I will select the sides, shell modifier, the inner amount 2. Now I need to hide this panel. Now for the base, I will add shell modifier, and here I need the inner amount 4. In the picture, this one is much, it is thicker than this one here on top. Now I need to give the back panel as well a shell modifier, and I will make the outer amount 0.1. Now I have this side panel. You can see that the top of this side panel is under the surface and also above the base panel. So I will need to go to editable poly, select this vertex and move them minus 2. Also here 4 cm. Now I will go to the shell modifier. So now I am done with these sides. I can add here chamfer modifier 0.2, and also I will give it a smooth for the chamfers only. Now I will right click and copy this modifier, and then I will paste it for the other objects. Okay, but this base, this is back panel, doesn't have much thickness, so I will just delete the chamfer modifier for it. Now I will unhide all and I will start with the front panel. I will isolate and now I will give it this groove between the 2 panels. I will select this edge over here and then I will use chamfer. I will give it an amount 0.1 and I will use open chamfer. Okay, so this small distance, the chamfered area, is deleted and now I have 2 panels. Now this one I will use it as a back panel, as the back panel for my door, this one, and I will now select this polygons over here, and then I will shift the selection to edge mode using shift, and then I will create shape from selection. Here I will use the type linear. Now I will, before I hide this panel, this object, I will give it a shell modifier and I will make the outer amount 1. Then hide it. Now I have this shape, so I will start building this nested arches with this SP line. I don't need both of them, so I will just delete one and then use symmetry modifier. So this one here, this SP line, I will go to the outline and give it an outline 3.5. Now I will select these vertex over here and I will fillet them to the maximum. Here I have 2 vertex, I need to weld them. Now I need to give it a higher amount. Okay, if I press here weld, it doesn't work. So I need to make this distance 1 cm. Now they became 1. Now I will select this SP line and I will give it more outline inward. So I will give it 3.5 and then select the new line, outline 3.5 and again 3.5. Now this arch, I want all of them to reach the bottom. So I will select the segments and I will move them downward. Now I need to make an offset or outline for each one to have this groove over here. So I will select this SP line and I will give them an outline 1. Now I can trim the segments from here. like this. Also, this inner area as well. Okay, so now I will weld these vertex from the bottom together. I will return it to point 1, weld. Now, if I add now extrude, this one will be an object, this one will be an object, and so on. But before I add anything, I need to go to interpolation to improve this curve and use adaptive, like this. Now I will use extrude, and then I will make the amount 1. So now I will unhide all, and here I need to select this one on the back panel and isolate. I will just change the color of the back panel so you can see it better. And now I need to make a symmetry modifier. I will add this symmetry modifier and I will use the x-axis. So now because the pivot point is exactly on the center of the cabinet, that's why it came right away on the exact position. Now I need to add a chamfer modifier, but here if I added a chamfer modifier for this one, it will be, and also use smooth chamfers only, it will shows that we have two different objects. So I need first to make them as one object, so I will select this one, and I will go to compound objects, and then group Boolean, union, and then start picking, and then I will select the back panel. Now they became one object. Here I will add a chamfer modifier, and I will make the amount 0.2, and I will smooth the chamfers only. So now I am done with the door panel. I need to do now these handles. I will unhide all, and I will go to the top view. So now I will draw a cylinder. I want the radius 1 and the height 3. Here I want to make this type of handles. So first I will isolate. Now I need to give it more segments, so I can operate compound object with this one. So I will add here the size 50, cap segments 10, the height 30. Okay, I just make it full of segments. Now I will need to make another copy using shift. I will now rotate it 90 degree and move it near the center. Now in the front view, I will move it upward, and I'll give it more space from the base. Now here, I will select this object. I will go to the compound objects, and I will use Boolean. I will make it union, add operand, and I will select this one. Now I will use subtract, and it is done. But here, this vertex, they are not perfect match for each other, and I need to organize this topology before I give it material. So I will add here something called retopology modifier. Now here the faces count by default, it is 5,000, but this is just a small object. So I can use 400 or 500 and then click compute. So now you can see that the shape has a good topology. I'll go to the top view, and I need to delete this one. I will now rotate 90 degree and move it near the door panel, and use shift to make another copy. Now I'll go to the front view, okay, and I need to move them upward. So this is the handles, and I can start with the wooden base. Here I will go to the top view, and I will draw here a sphere, and I want the radius to be 3. Now I will isolate and go to the front view. Here I need to remove some polygons from top and bottom, and then extend this border downward. So I will add edit poly, and I will select these polygons over here, and also from the base, maybe I can give it more polygons as well. Okay, now you can see these borders. I will select this border, it is hollow from the inside, So I will click on Edit Borders Cap, and from this side I will select the border, and I need to shift it, to use shift and move it downward 6 centimeters. I already checked this status bar for the value. Now I need to scale it down because you can see in the picture it is smaller in size, and then I can use borders, edit borders cap. Now the edge is still selected, so I will use chamfer, make the amount 0.3, and then I will give it 2 segments. Okay. So this is the wooden leg. I need to go to the top view, unhide all, and I will move it here near the corner. Now I will add symmetry modifier. I will use the x-axis, and then I need to select this mirror line and move it. It is not in the middle of the object, it is all the way in the middle of the cabinet. And now I need to use flip. Okay, so 3D Max will use this side as the source of the mirror line. Also, I will use the y-axis, and it is located here, the yellow line. So I will move it from here to the middle of the object. Also, I want to use flip. Now I will go to the front view, and I need to move them downward, like this. Now I press F3, so you can see it in shaded mode. So this is my cabinet. Now I will need to add some materials to it. I will select this wood material, select the panels, and click Assign, and press on Show Shaded Material. Also for the side panel, I'll use the same material. Now I will go to Modifier List and add UV W Map Box and use Real World Map Size. Now I will select the legs, and I will give it this paint color, and the handles I will give this golden color. So this is my sideboard cabinet.